Hey guys, welcome back to 590 Gaming. My name is Joko, and today I'm joined with Geek to go over the new Dead by Daylight map. Go ahead and say hey.
What's up, everybody?
So, not only a new map, but pretty much a full expansion. You have 2 new survivors, new map, and Nemesis as well, which, kind of cool that's Nemesis. Kind of would have preferred Mr. X, because I like Mr. X a bit more, but let's actually just cover the 3 new things. This map will cover that in detail in a bit, but how do you feel about the 2 new survivors as well as Nemesis?
Well, in general, like, I feel like it was like a no-brainer, right? I mean, I know you can argue Chris, but Leon is, by and large, the most popular Resident Evil character. Like, he's in a bunch of movies. Everyone loves RE4. Everyone loves RE2. Even my personal opinion, RE6 isn't that great, but his segment in RE6 is probably the best out of all the campaigns. So Leon, especially the RE2 remake model and everything, was like a no-brainer, especially because it's like the more recent stuff. Like, I definitely didn't think we were gonna get like Ethan or like Lady Dimitrescu or Jack. Jack would have been sick though. I will say that. And like the village
I would have heard
environment.
Jack so much more. Having Jack just like say all his random craziness, that would have been cool.
That would have been sick, yeah. But no, yeah, I'm super happy with the survivors. Like Jill makes sense, and Leon, like, I don't know. I'm just super glad we got some. It just feels weird to have like actual like Resident Evil characters in Dead by Daylight. It's probably gonna make me play a lot more than I used to.
Same, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred Nemesis or Mr. X for the killer?
Considering we'll get into the map in a minute, but considering the map is RPD, I don't know. I'm kind of torn because Nemesis to me makes more sense because unless they were gonna do something with the Tyrant or Mr. X, like going into the Super Tyrant form and like doing like a Mori on someone like as a special or like one of his dash moves. Nemesis I think is a better fit because of how he inherently already has like grotesque things like the tendrils and stuff. I felt like before he even got announced he was gonna be it because of how like because DBD loves going with grotesque or like like things, right? So he has
The
like a
last
tentacle
character was a
stuff.
K-pop guy, man.
Don't worry about it. Shh. Ignore it for my for my point. Anywho, no, but I mean, fair enough. But I don't know, because I'm thinking like Mr. X could have. I don't know what other moveset he can have, like maybe like a running charge. But aside from that, he would just have like punches if they weren't gonna do anything with the Super Tyrant. But they could have been creative, I guess. But I'm happy with Nemesis.
Yeah, I really am also happy with Nemesis, but it feels like it's a toned down Nemesis just to make him not, broken, which is every killer, even though they are completely broken. But I feel like Mr. X would have worked more or better in Dead by Daylight. It's just general stalking, slow moving killer and whatnot. I think, especially with the map location, I preferred Mr. X because, I don't know, Nemesis, I really do like him, but he feels heavily nerfed when he's running around. Like, he's still, a behemoth, but it's not like RE3's Nemesis remake where he's jumping up buildings and, 1 second
yeah.
and launching off all that. It's like,
Spider-Maning around, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. If only we could have had that. That would have been too broken, though.
Yeah, that would have been, yeah, like, I would actually not even touch the game if that were I mean, I would touch the game if I were Nemesis, but aside from that, I wouldn't be Survivor ever. But I see your point.
Speaking of broken, how do you feel about zombies as now new obstacles when Nemesis is the killer?
I think that's, I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, that's so, like, cool because it's Resident Evil, right? So you have a bunch of, or like the theme, right? And it's really cool. But at the same time, they are moving around on their own. And, like, they can hit you and, like, infect you and stuff. So it's a lot different than I say, like the pig, right, from Saw, where she has to put the trap on you, but the traps around the map, or like to deactivate them, are just, they don't really do anything to you unless you have the trap on your head. But having zombies that can actively infect you and you have to get rid of the infection is, I feel like that could be annoying, but I think it's also cool. But I don't know, how do you feel about the zombies?
I think it's really cool until I play with them.
You know what?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna hop into a match, it's gonna bite me, and I'm gonna want to punch my monitor.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna go down. It's really cool in theory, but there's no way it's gonna be fun to play against because you're gonna, like in the video, they wasted a pallet by dropping on one of the zombies and whatnot, and just stuff like that. It's like, it's just extra obstacles, and the killers are already so overpowered, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
we really don't need to have extra zombies. Even though like 3 per map, you turn the corner wrong, you're looking behind you because he's chasing you.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, bam, zombies on you. I don't know. I feel like that's probably going to be too annoying, and Nemesis will be like the most overused killer by far.
Yeah.
If the zombies are like garbage to deal with.
I think so. I mean, he's gonna be. I mean, obviously, I have like Michael Myers and Freddy and all that, right? But I definitely think he's gonna be like, especially the survivors. I feel like even like Laurie Strode, like they're popular in cinema, but like a video game, like like this is like a big boy, like high like AAA video game series that like with survivors and killers. So I think we're gonna see a lot of Nemesis and like Jill and Leon around the environment. But yeah, I do agree with you. Once I start playing, I think the zombies are like, oh, that's so cool. Oh no, I'm running away. Then like you said, I'm running away. And then I run into Nemesis, but then I run away from him, and then I run into a zombie. It's gonna be it's gonna be annoying.
That's, oh man, I'm not really looking forward to that. But speaking of the environment, how do you feel about the map?
I'm super hyped about it. I love the RPD, and that's why I was mentioning earlier where I'm a little bit torn because I would have preferred Mr. X if they're giving us the RPD, because they're not giving us like a city environment to be like with Nemesis, where Nemesis was in RE3. So that's why, in a way, like I 100% agree with that point that you said, where I feel like Mr. X would have been 100% probably better because of the environment and the way he stalks you, and like I don't know, all the footsteps, especially getting flashbacks to RE2 remake and playing it. But I love the RPD. I'm not gonna complain about the environment. It looks really, really sick.
I just like, I was gonna go into it, and I have an issue with it. It just feels wrong, and I realize why. If you go to 11 seconds in the trailer you sent me, it looks really wrong. Like, she's way too small. Everything in the environment is way bigger.
Yeah.
It's gonna bother me every single time I play on the map, because it's just, Nemesis is pretty much as tall as Mr. X. I don't think there are any real difference in height, right? I wouldn't imagine so. Maybe 1 foot. But Mr. X didn't really have an issue getting around. I mean, sure, he had to crouch down to go through doors, but that could be fixed just by having, like, as you can see in the same room, off to the left side, there's like a hole in the wall that wasn't there in the base game. I'm guessing for survivors to hop over. Just make a hole in every doorway, but keep everything the same kind of size. I get it, it's for the killer to get in and out, but Nemesis will probably be the tallest killer?
I think so. I think he might be the tallest one. But no, yeah, I 100% agree with you now. Yeah, I didn't see it in the perspective. And obviously, disclaimer for the people watching, this is a work in progress. So, maybe they'll adjust some sizes and stuff, like inside. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, she looks like the desk and everything is about as tall as her. And it looks kind of weird. Like, she looks like she got shrunk down. And everything
feels
got
like a
bigger.
Gary's mod map.
Yeah, it does.
That's the way that it seems to me. But it looks huge as well, and I hope all of it makes it into the final version of the map, because you have pretty much all the upstairs, you have a lot of the main rooms. You're gonna have 3 stairs, gonna have the basement, the main, and upstairs with the library. That's gonna be really cool. It might get annoying as a killer trying to find people, because they have a couple like parts on top of the balcony. I think main entrance area, you go up the stairs above the whatever hidden fountain thing, where you put in the medallions, and there's somewhere you can drop off from the top of it, all the way at the end of the hallway. That's going to be really annoying. You chase someone all the way up there, they just drop down. Like, it might be really annoying to run around. It might be almost too big. I don't know. I'm looking forward to playing it, but it looks out of proportion, and it looks like it might be a bit annoying to go through.
Especially as a killer, I agree with you, because like the killers can't jump, right? Like, unless you have a special ability, they can't, like, at least at the moment, I don't think Nemesis has the ability to like tendril up like higher places, which would be a cool ability, like you said, right? Because that will kind of fix the issue that you're saying, where like you run all the way down this hallway, and then Nemesis is chasing you, or the killer, and then they get close to you, then you drop down, right? And then then you can just loop them forever, because that hallway is way too long for the killer to be able to access it. So yeah, I agree with you. All right, so now moving on to the perks, and honestly, let's just start with let's get the elephant out the room. Let's talk about Nemesis's perk. So we have Lethal Pursuer, and I'll read them off to you. At the start of the trial, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 5 seconds. That's level 1. Then we got Hysteria. Whenever you put a healthy survivor in the injured state with a basic attack, All injured survivors suffer from the oblivious status effect for 20 seconds. Hysteria can only trigger once every 60 seconds. Just for clarification, oblivious means you won't be able to hear the killer track or anything. The killer can just stealth kill you and just hit you. You won't know they're coming. So that's all. These are all level 1, by the way. And then Eruption. After kicking a generator, its aura is highlighted in yellow. When you put a survivor in the dying state with a basic attack, every affected generator explodes, regressing their progress by 6% and causing their auras to disappear. Any survivor repairing a generator when it explodes will scream and suffer from the incapacitated status effect for 10 seconds. Eruption has a cooldown of 90 seconds. These are all level 1 perks. So, Charco, I mean, what do you think about these 3 perks for Nemesis?
Man, Hysteria and Lethal Pursuer. Man, Lethal Pursuer at the beginning of the match, like, just for you to immediately tunnel someone is going to be really, really annoying to deal with. Like, if, like, 1 second of the match, and Nemesis is running at you full sprint, like, okay, well,
Yeah.
Cool, great, thanks, wonderful, I love you. Bro, if I get tunneled within the first 2 seconds, I'm quitting, dude. And then Oblivious, oh, that's going to be just so annoying.
Oh, dude, like a combo of both of those, getting tunneled, and then you have instant, like, then you got Hysteria, like, proccing. Oh my goodness.
Hysteria is going to be like a mid-game perk that's going to start to activate, but, like, all the injured survivors, like, you hit 2, you hit 1 guy, and then immediately hit the next one, and he won't know if you're chasing him or not, like, unless you keep turning around, but he can sleep. It's just, oh, man. I just don't, I'm not going to have fun fighting a Nemesis, dude.
Yeah, like, the first one reminds me of kind of like Object of Obsession, where if this is a survivor perk, obviously, where you look at the killer, but the killer can also look at you, so you can know the location of the killer, but the sacrifice being that he'll know where you're at. This is just Nemesis at the start, like, okay, I can see everyone, and like, okay, you're there, okay, I'm just gonna go run, and then they also gotta be wary of zombies, so. And then mind you, like I said, these are all the level 1 versions of these perks. So it can go from 5 seconds to, I don't know what the max is, probably going to be like 8 seconds, which that's a long time in video game time. So yeah, and then the Eruption, just I think is the lesser of the 3. But as a killer trying to hold down a bunch of generators, I think this is going to be really interesting if you like damage a bunch of generators and they're all like, let's say you hit all the generators on the map. And then you injure someone, and they all of them just blow up, and then now, like, all of those guys regress, right? So it's a very interesting perk that can be used in a technical aspect. I kind of like it. Okay, so moving on to Jill. Jill's perks are okay. The only ones I'm going to concentrate on are Resurgence and Counterforce, and Resurgence is really, really good. So she gains 40% healing progress instantly after being unhooked or unhooking yourself. So if you have 2 or 3 survivors unhooking her, it's like an instant heal. She already has almost 50% progress bar. And then Counterforce is interesting only for if you're running a specific build, because this is a cleansing totem like perk. You cleanse totems 20% faster. After cleansing a totem, you see the aura of the furthest totem from you for 2 seconds. And you gain an additional 20% and stackable speed bonus to cleansing totems for the remainder of the trial. So you can like speed blitz all the totems on the map if that's like your objective. For example, if someone has like Noed or something like that, right? For the end of the match, this Jill run or build can like just counter all of that. What do you think about these 2, Troco?
Noed, that's a perk I think that has like totem stuff with it.
Yeah, there's more perks, but yeah, the Noed is like I feel like the most infamous one that procs at the end of the match. Yeah.
Yeah, because I played 55 hours, which none of those hours were fun, but I don't recall totems ever being that relevant in many matches. So it's definitely a good perk if you get into a match that's gonna have totems, but I don't know if I'd ever really want to run it hoping I get into a match that's gonna have like a totem based killer.
Yeah,
but
I agree. Yeah.
Resurgence though, that's gonna be pretty cool. That's going to be very, very useful for just anyone, really.
Okay, moving on, we have Leon, which I think as much as Nemesis's perks are broken, I think he has probably the most useful perk, and Chark is going to give you a reason why. And he bite the bullet and flashbang. Let's start with flashbang first, and then we'll talk about bite the bullet, the more I think interesting one. But flashbang is really interesting as well. So after completing 70 progress on any generator, flashbang activates. So to do this, you need to enter a locker while empty-handed and press the ability button to craft a flash grenade. So you get 1 charge. It detonates with a loud bang and flashing light, like a flashbang, right? Creates a noise notification and can be used to distract or blind. So I think, like, my opinion on this perk is it's very technical. Like, you need a plan when you're gonna use this perk, because if you're just gonna like, oh, I'm just gonna do this and run in here, if Nemesis sees you in, like, run into the damn closet, or any killer, they're just gonna rip you right out. So you need to plan accordingly and, like, go in there knowing you're gonna do this, because being able to flash the killer, like, it seems like at any given point, is a very strong ability. What about you? What do you think, Charco?
That's going to be pretty cool, but the noise notification, I forget if every noise is the same, like jumping over windows or whatever, and generator. It'd have to be like a generator noise for it to be super useful, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, that would actually make the killer think, like, oh, somebody messed up a generator, let's go check it out, but it was just a flashbang to distract them.
Yeah.
So it could be a pretty cool perk. I don't think it'll be too useful, like, in one-on-one combat with him, more than, like, you know, something like a flashlight, which you'd probably be carrying the flashbang, and I'd rather just use a flashlight in that situation. But if you don't have one, and you can make these for free, that's going to be pretty cool.
Alrighty. True. Very true. I agree with you. And then we have Bite the Bullet. So this one for Leon, you may, and by the way, these are all teachable, except obviously like the killer ones, but these are all teachable perks to any survivor. So once you unlock it, you can have it onto your Cheryl, your Ash from Evil Dead, your Laurie Strode, whatever you want, whatever your perfect build is, perfect character. But this one is Bite the Bullet. You make no noise, including grunts of pain when healing. There is no noise notification on failed healing skill checks, and healing regresses by only 3%. So, Choco, explain why this is so important.
So, I'm a Bill main, and Bill, as much as I love him, is loud as hell. Every time you heal him, you will hear him across the map. Doesn't matter if you're survivor, killer, you're gonna hear Bill, man. He's coughing up a lung, poor guy. He's dealing with a lot, and he is very, very loud, whether it's healing himself or being healed, and it will always give away my position. So it's kind of annoying. But this perk, you make no noise. You can go hide behind a chair or somewhere, and the killer will have no idea you're healing unless there's another thing going on with it. I'm wondering if when you're healing, that will also get rid of the noise you make from fear.
Oh.
Because if that does, if you could be injured and then self-heal yourself, but never to full, only to do it when the killer's like coming by to hide, I wonder if that can work. Because that's going to be really, really annoying, just to have a silent, like, survivor around the map. Because if it cancels out the noise of fear, that might be really, really, really annoying to deal with as a killer. But I'm a survivor main, so hell yeah, please do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please work like that.
It's yeah, because I mean, it's only fair, right? Like, you get all these killers of like oh yeah, they can't hear you when they're walking up, or like, you know, like Nemesis can see you at the start of the map, like the match. Like, it's about time I think killers get some, or survivors get some type of like broken abilities, right? So Bite the Bullet, it seems like, I think out of the bunch, I think this is the most impressive one from the survivors. Flashbang is interesting. Resurgence is really cool. Blast Mine is interesting a little bit. Rookie Spirit seems a little meh. Not really that like I don't know, fun or to use. Counter Force seems interesting, but that's very, very, very selective, very like specific. So, but Bite the Bullet to me, out of all the 6 new perks for the 2 new survivors, is by far my favorite one.
And that about wraps up. That's pretty much everything that's coming in the Dead by Daylight X Resident Evil chapter. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to play one match, get bit by a zombie, and not play again for a few months. But let us know your thoughts down below of how you're feeling about it. Any final thoughts? You coming back to Dead by Daylight, Geek Man?
Yeah, I'll definitely like start playing again. I do like Dead by Daylight. It's just a lot of things with like a lot of the killers being so overpowered, and having not that many great teammates really does hamper the experience in Dead by Daylight. But this, I mean, Resident Evil is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Like, they're gonna sucker me back in, so I will be coming back.
Yeah, same, unfortunately. Did not want to go back to Dead by Daylight, but I'm currently installing the public test beta right now thing. Anyways, hope you guys did enjoy. Catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
Peace.